Hello, welcome back. It's Baldy Chris, going through all 10 floors of the Gungeon in this little series, so it should be nice short episodes. This one will be the resourceful rat's lair. This follows on from the 3rd floor. We've got the required resources here. We bought the gnawed key from the 2nd floor shop. We've got a spare key and we've got 2 blanks. So unlock the hatch, use up one of the keys. Then we go to a little subway area. You can get in the minecart and ride across, but this is actually the slow way to do it. It makes the tunnel seem incredibly long, whereas just walking down the rails is a quicker way to do it. But if you're worried about falling off, this is certainly the safer way to do it. So it doesn't look like there's much going on here, but I assure you there is a secret room. This is why you need 2 blanks. We'll let off the first one, and there's the entrance. Can open that by falling into the pit, and if you've got armour, it will trigger a blank effect when the armour is used up. So there we go, into this very small room, and let another blank off to open up the back of it. You can't do the trick with the armour and the pit to open that second one. They count as different rooms, so you will definitely need at least 1 blank, recommended to 2, highly recommended to 2, to be able to blank both walls rather than using armour and a blank to get in. And then finally you're into the hatchway to the rat's lair itself, which is what the gnawed key is for. I'm hoping that we get something really tasty out of the rainbow chest that's about to be presented to us, because I'm just not that good at the rat fight, which will be apparent if you've watched my Quest for the Finished Gun series. So what do we have? Got platinum bullets, which would be a potential help for sure. Super hot watch might be a good shout. Soul caliber does a lot of damage, but you have to get up very, very close. I think I will just take the platinum bullets and hope that building up kills along the way on this floor is going to improve my overall damage. That's the point where the rat fight becomes a bit easier. So yeah, this floor is one of the trickier ones before actually. Well, in fact, let's go through. You've got your starting room, it leads over here. There's a bunch of little rats running around with candles. They can be jammed if your curse level is high enough, and if they are jammed, they'll do you contact damage. As it is, these aren't, and they won't, and you can just walk into them without any worries. Then you've got to drop down into the pit. And this is where the tricky part starts, because we're now in a maze. And the way to navigate this maze is to check your item list. You will have had to have been playing the game for quite some time to get this. All the way at the bottom of the item list should be the infuriating notes, which you would have found out of various chests that you've been opening up, and probably been infuriated by them as well, because they're exceptionally irritating. But they do finally have a use. So there will be 6 of them in total, and each of them are signed off by the rat using a little wedge of cheese, and this will be unique to you. As far as I'm aware, it should persist across your save files, but it'll be unique to you nonetheless. That said, I did this on a friend's account on an entirely different console, and we got exactly the same pathway, so it's not impossible it's the same for all PlayStations, but I really wouldn't count on that being the case. But the wedges of cheese point in a specific direction, and that's the path you need to follow to be able to get through the maze. So for me it is right, down to the next level, left, which sounds silly. Right, left could be achieved by just going right. Don't do that, you need to follow it exactly. So right, left, down, left. So that's what we've got to do. And one of the rooms might be empty, but typically they're filled with pretty decent, pretty difficult enemies. And as ever, kill quickly if you can. So certainly a rapid firing weapon, or something like the big shooty gun, which could take out an entire room full of enemies at once, is quite a handy thing to have. Okay, so that's right once, right the second time. And yeah, this is certainly one of the rooms where a fast firing weapon is needed, because these things just keep swarming. And oh, that was a poor set of hits. Yeah, they keep swarming you, and death is in there as well. Get off me, you little buggers. Generally making himself a pain in the arse until everything else has died, whereupon he will disappear. Do at least get a blank out of him. Unfortunately, Big Shooty Gun is not terrific at clearing that room out, because those little rat things spawn in different waves, so you'll get a good number of them to start with, but by no means all. So that's right, left, and it's lead maidens, which are among the more annoying enemies in the game. And yeah, taking a hit. Thought I'd got the first one killed, but clearly I didn't. And there we go. Right. Not absolutely the end of the world to be taking hits, because you do get a chance to top your health back up again in this floor. I'm going to top up the Yari launcher with the ammo that's just dropped, although you will also get a chance to top up ammo in anything as well, so you don't really need to worry too much about ammo conservation. Just making it to the end of the 6-room maze, so down, left, that should get us where we're going. And yeah, loads of jammed enemies, which is definitely not wanted. Plus one that brings skeletons into existence, so I managed to take him out. There we go, that's all of them dead, so that was down, and then left. This room is a nuisance because of the hammers, which follow you around and will persist as well. And I'm just going to leave that room because I can't make any use of that ammo, having already filled the Yari launcher. And yeah, left was the final move needed, so there's 2 full hearts of health. I will have one of those bring me up to full, and I've got the choice of just the Yari launcher and an infinite ammo weapon. So since the Yari launcher is full up, the ammo refills here aren't any use to me right now, but like I say, they are ordinarily pretty helpful for you. So off to the rat fight itself. This is where you can now forget about the directions, because in fact your choices are limited to just going up to a boss fight, and unfortunately it's a 3-phase boss fight, and I can't even guarantee I'm going to get through it, although I've got a fairly reasonable setup, and I will be bringing in the Gatling Gull to help me out in this first section. Probably the second section as well. But come on, Gatling Gull, help out. So yeah, now we're fighting the rat himself, who unfortunately does a lot of rapid fire attacks that can be quite hard to avoid. And Gatling Gull has let me down there by not necessarily shielding me from all of them. Yeah, taking a couple of silly hits here. Try and get behind him again, because he will shield me from those. I think that's the first phase done. There's poison on the floor, you can't stay in that for too long. He's thrown out a load of mouse traps as well, they will deal damage too. Basically the rat is a pain in the arse. And that's the first of his 3 phases. Technically you only actually really need to beat 2 of the phases, but it can be quite tricky. I'm hoping the Yari launcher is going to do me well on this second phase, which I would say is probably harder, simply because I think the health tends to last a bit longer. Now he's riding a giant Metal Gear mech thing. But yeah, we shall fire off a bunch of Yaris. Whoops, took some silly damage there. Now, I'm going to use a blank there because I'm crap at avoiding that, and I'm going to bring in Gatling Gull again because he's recharged. Hopefully, between the two, that should be enough to see me through. That single, I'm going to blank that too because I'm shit at avoiding it. There we are, done it. More by virtue of the weaponry I've got rather than any true skill. And then you go into this weird punch out phase which I'm absolute crap at, so first time you see it, it will at least tell you the controls to use to do it. There we are, have that you prick. That is quite unexpected. He of course will recharge with the cheese as well. I did think it was perhaps him in the shout beating his second phase, so yeah, he's beaten this to punch out phase, which he's done every time I've encountered him so far. Which is hugely annoying, but you do at least get to carry on your run. If you die in the first two phases, you will die, I'm afraid, unless you've got the clone, which is a good backup. But he's dropped a good amount of stuff for us as well, primarily health, which I will help myself to the full hearts, and the armour. A little note telling us how bad we are at punch out. Some Guan stones, I'll have that, and more armour. Then that's the 6th chamber, I think, has been dropped there. Oh, oiled cylinder, sorry, so faster reloads, which is a good thing. And then I think that's the cobalt hammer as an additional weapon. So even in rainbow mode, you can still get items out of the rat fight by... Oh, there's the Vorpal gun as well. It's not the Vorpal gun, 38 special, beg your pardon. And then, quite unusually for me, he's dropped 2 keys as well. It's the first time I've had 2 keys. And you'll see what those keys are for in a moment, because there's yet another hole to drop down. And this is where the resourceful rat stores all the stuff he's nicked in the history of ever. And there's some pedestals which I don't think can be mimics, which always contain a couple of keys, at least 1 blank and 1 Guan stone, bit of armour, bit more health, not that I can use the health, a full ammo top up, which is going in the Yari launcher, and then a partial ammo top up as well, which I can't use for any of the things that are here because they're all full at the moment. Now potentially these chests can be mimics as well, so I will have a quick shot at each of them. No, they weren't. Let's refill the ammo in that for what it's worth. And yeah, we've got 2 keys which will open these chests, and there's some very good items to be had out of them. Unfortunately, you can't get them in rainbow mode because Bowler, as you see, is sitting here, generally making himself a continued pain in the arse. There's a few other weird peculiarities to this floor. There's always a hidden room that comes off this area, which is why it gives you 1 blank even if you've used them all up in the fight. If you let a blank off now, it will open a secret area, and here it is. And there is a little sleeping serpent up there. You can use one of the although there's 2 locks, you only really need to use 1 of the keys. You can get 6 keys if you're good at punch out. I'm not. 2 is the best I've ever done. So you can use 1 key to open the first door and then start throwing, ideally, junk across the gate. You need to throw 4 items to that serpent. Junk is the obvious candidate for it, and that'll wake it up and it'll join you as a companion and start following you around. It will act as a bullet shield, but generally not do a whole lot else. But having a bullet shield is helpful. However, when you reach the dragon fight, the dragon will eat the serpent and turn into an advanced dragon, and the advanced dragon is a very difficult fight indeed. So that's the one way to do that. The other thing that the keys are used for as well, you've got 2 potential exits from the floor. That's the one we will be taking, which takes us to the 4th floor. You can see the 4 on the plaque there. If you speak Roman numerals, that is. And then there's another gated one here where it's a little harder to see, but there is a 5 on the plaque on the floor if you fancy taking yourself straight to the 5th floor rather than the 4th floor. That's potentially something worth doing in, say, challenge mode, so that you can avoid the entirety of the 4th floor and improve your chances of getting to the end of the game. However, I wouldn't necessarily recommend taking on the rat floor in challenge mode. So that is quite an extensive tour of the end of the rat's lair. I will open these chests purely for the sake of opening them. There's no point carrying the rat keys around, they will open literally nothing else in the game. It's just unfortunate that Bowler won't let me take the contents, because there really are some nice items coming out of those rainbow chests, the rat item chests, and they will probably carry you through the rest of the run. But anyway, that brings me to the end of the demonstration of the resourceful rat's lair, the 3rd secret floor. So I'll end this episode and hope you'll join me in the next one to see us on the 4th floor. Right.